So that's 2 movies in 3 months for Steven Soderbergh. Black Bag is a movie that should be talked about more. I saw it. Let's talk about it. First of all, if you don't know Soderbergh, the director of Ocean's 11, Logan Lucky, some of the better movies of the last 10, 20 years, but it feels like this guy's cranking out 2-3 movies a year, and I've been joking about that. He comes out with 2 movies in a matter of months, which is kind of crazy. High Flying Bird, The Laundromat, No Sudden Move, Kimmy, Magic Mike's Last Dance, Presents, Black Bag, that's all been in like the last 4 or 5 years, which is kind of crazy. And you know, as of late, some of his movies hit, others just kind of fall flat. I kind of liked Presents. I was expecting to enjoy it more, but for what it was going for, I think it's going to work for that audience. This is kind of back to formula. And when I say back to formula, I mean that really slick, fun, dialogue-reliant type of movie like an Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, with not as much humor as a film like Logan Lucky, which I would argue is just as much of a comedy as it is anything else, but much more grounded, down-to-earth, taking itself very seriously. You cast a guy like Michael Fassbender, yeah, you're going to get a movie that takes itself seriously, but I love the premise, and I want to start there. Like I said, Fassbender's the lead here. He plays George, who is married to Kathryn. They are both intelligence agents, but Kathryn is suspected of treason. Yeah, so this is very much a spy espionage type of movie, but it's more of a grounded look at the relationships of everyone involved here. It's not about just our main 2. Think an office drama, a workplace type of movie, less comedy, way more drama, but they're all spies. They're all intelligence agents. You don't know who you can or can't trust, and that's part of the beauty of this very slick and laid-back movie. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. That's the type of film I'm wanting from a director like this, who directed Ocean's 11 and one of my personal favorites, I keep going back to it, Logan Lucky, oh so well, to where the dialogue is quick and snappy, sometimes funny, sometimes taking itself more serious, this movie especially, but in such a grounded and interesting way. Now, the thing I'll say about the script that doesn't always work is the fact that it is a little overly complicated at times. I saw the praise of it being such an in-depth and thematically rich script, so going into it, that was kind of stuck in my brain, and I didn't quite feel it on that level. I think some people will. But this is the kind of movie that has a twist or a turn at pretty much every turn. And by the time we get through 2 or 3 scenes, you can always expect something to either go sideways or you're asking yourself a question about a character that inevitably gets answered. And so this isn't a movie that leaves you wondering or what's going to happen next. It's a very open-ended type of ending. No, it answers all of your questions, but I did feel while watching maybe some of these questions are a little unnecessary. We could have answered this a lot quicker, and it is the type of movie to, make you speculate on things, and then inevitably once you think you figure it out, it just kind of tells you. So it's not solving these problems in a slick way. It's more so asking questions in a slick way and delivering entertaining performances in the meantime. I mean, Kathryn is such an enigmatic character. The chemistry between the two is electric. Oftentimes, the movie opts to focus more on their relationship and less of what's going on, kind of the plot that is surrounding them, right? But I'm okay with that because they're so cool on screen. Can I use the word cool? Is that lame to do in a review? Fassbender's just so freaking cool, man. And he keeps that straight face no matter the situation. So even though he's telling you what he's thinking, you're still wondering, does he truly mean that? And, there are times throughout the movie where he's questioning the person that he's questioning, right? So there is a full sequence involving a lie detector test where he's literally questioning people. Now, there are really interesting ways these characters go about answering these questions, but the entire time, Michael Fassbender, while keeping that extremely straight face, you can tell his brain's just working 90 miles a minute, just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to solve this huge problem that has been created? And ultimately, who's at fault here? Right? Who is the real person involved? Is it who they say, or does it go beyond that? Now, our other characters are great as well. Regé-Jean Page is awesome. Marisa Abela, Naomie Harris, Tom Burke, really nice to see him. And, of course, Pierce Brosnan. Now, Brosnan is playing the exact character I expected him to play, like he's the guy in charge. He has that exact attitude that you think a character like that is going to have. But it's Pierce Brosnan eating up his screen time, munching on some great dialogue. That sounds stupid. Regardless, the dialogue is great between everyone involved here. Numerous couples, an interesting level of drama between the couples, and when they're talking to each other behind the other person's back, you're always wondering what they're going to say next. And are we going to get answers to our questions? Again, you do inevitably, but how often does the script provide that? Here's the great thing about this film, though. It's 90 minutes. Now, I'm not saying every movie needs to be 90 minutes, right? But a film like this that is attempting to be as smooth as your classic Soderbergh movie, this does it, and it does it right. It was not too long, definitely not, but not too short, right? It's the exact amount of time that you expect for a story like this, for a spy workplace drama. Again, the best way I could describe it. His big hit here, I mean, it's Ocean's 11. That's what a lot of people are going to compare this to. Again, a different tone, but still stylish with a sense of nuanced humor, right? The humor's there. It's not overly humorous like Logan Lucky, but it's nuanced humor that I do think a lot of people are going to appreciate. And I also just appreciate the time that they took for certain moments to play out on screen. And again, that level of payoff. If you're looking for a heavy action-packed spy thriller, this is not that. Not even remotely. So I do think that's going to disappoint some people. And there are a couple of underdeveloped elements that I've kind of hinted on, but ultimately I expected more from a few plot points and a few characters, right? I talk about how good Pierce Brosnan is, and he's great. I would have opted for some more screen time because, frankly, he's one of the more interesting characters in the movie. I get why they didn't do it, but there were times where I'm like, let's explore that a little more. I mean, this is a film that, ultimately I could see him doing a sequel. I don't know how it's going to perform, but I could see it, and I'd be interested. So leave your comments down below regarding Black Bag, and share this video if you enjoyed it. I want to know if you're watching it this weekend, and what's your favorite film from this director. You have a lot to choose from. Black Bag is a stylish spy thriller that plays like a workplace drama at times, complemented by an outstanding cast from top to bottom. The performances and script manage to elevate each other, even when the overarching plot becomes a bit overly convoluted. Don't expect to be riveted by action, as this is a film that thrives through dialogue-driven sequences that ultimately deliver a satisfying conclusion. Now, I will say, I liked this film, did not love it, like I'm seeing from a lot of people, because maybe it didn't quite hook me like I expected it to, but ultimately I came away thinking, yeah, that's a good movie, and this is a movie that's going to work for a lot of people that enjoy this genre. So again, thanks for watching. Plenty of stuff to talk about this weekend. Tomorrow, the Electric State, and I'll be in a different state, so expect a different background. All right, see you soon.